Hey guys, it's Jessica, and today I'm going to share with you the best and worst makeup products that I currently own that are from the brand Wet n Wild, which of course is available at the drugstore. It's very inexpensive compared to a lot of other drugstore brands. I've talked recently in videos about how I feel like so many brands are like in cahoots and they're like, yeah, let's just start charging $15 to $20 and see if anyone buys it. And then us as suckers still buy the $15 foundations. But Wet n Wild is offering products that are, I think every single one of them is under $10. So I appreciate that. I appreciate that their prices have stayed around the same as they have been. But I've got a lot here. Some of it I've purchased it, some of it they sent to me in PR. You guys know I always give my honest opinion regardless, because at the end of the day, if a brand is not sending me things in PR because they're mad at me for talking negatively about their brand, then, well, I probably don't want to get PR from them anyway. Anyway, so I've got brushes, I've got highlighters, lip products, eyeshadows for sure, other things like that, brow products, concealers. So let's go ahead and get into it. My hair, do you ever, like, I feel like I've had like a month of my hair not doing what I want it to do. So like I've been air drying it so much and I feel like my hair is so thankful for that, but then it's kind of limp and I'm like, ugh. And then I'm like, well, I could put hairspray in it. I'm like, no, but then you're just putting gross stuff in your hair. Like I can't. And so my last video I just filmed about facial oils, I had my hair down and now I'm like, now it's up and I'm like, I don't like it. Okay. Stop, Jess, stop. Grow up. Let's go. I am wearing a ton of Wet n Wild on my face. I tried to use as much as I could so you could see what it looks like on. I've been wearing it for a few hours. And what's kind of interesting is, you know, I've been trying these products for months. Some of them I've had for months and months and months, but some of them I've been trying for maybe a month or two. And it's interesting to like really pay attention and see them in the light. And I'm like, I don't know that I like that very much. So, okay. Where to begin? Let's start with their brushes, just because I've had a lot of you guys ask about them. They're so pretty. I mean, seriously, these beautiful light pink brushes. And I have some eye ones, I've got some face ones. I feel like I have some more that I couldn't find in my drawer. They're like buried. But I've recently washed these, and anyway, I think these are very, very nice. I feel like you are hard pressed in a physical drugstore to find good brushes. I don't mean Ulta, because I feel like Ulta, they have a decent amount of more inexpensive brushes, but I mean like a regular old drugstore, Walgreens, CVS, you'll see like their brand of brushes, and some of them are good, some of them aren't. You might see like Revlon will sell like 2 or 3 brushes in their thing, and I'm like, they've been selling the same ones forever. And anyway, but it was so exciting when Wet n Wild released these, because not only are they pretty good brushes, but they're cute. You know what I mean? I feel like oftentimes when you're saving money, they're not spending as much in the packaging and what it looks like, which I can understand, I totally get, but it's nice when they do. And so like the face brushes, I don't think they have the name. Oh, this is the P60. This is a domed brush. These are super soft, all of them. They clean really, really well. I just recently cleaned them. Did I already say that? Okay. This is nice. I actually like it for like bronzing. It's big, but not too big. You could maybe use it for like powder all over the face, although I don't know. I'm kind of realizing about myself, I don't love domed things like this for really anything, because I feel like I can't be as precise as I want. I'd rather it be more even, not domed, but tapered. I'd rather it be a more even dome, just so I can be a little more precise. This one is their P55, and you can like, there's like a little hole here you could squirt foundation into, and then, you know, go like this. You could. I've done it, and I was like, there's not really a difference between doing that and just putting the foundation on your face and just doing that. I guess maybe you're not getting your fingers dirty. So it might be worth trying. I do think it's actually a pretty decent foundation brush. I was able to get everywhere I needed to get. I could even get into these corners by using the side of this. So that was pretty cool. And this one I haven't had a lot of use for. It's the P50. It's really, really thin. I know a lot of people will do like stronger contours or little contours there. I've even heard some people do their nose. I don't contour my nose. You can probably tell. But, you know, it's very, very dense. Again, very, very soft. You could totally use it for that purpose if this is like up your alley. And I know they do have sets. This might have even been a set. Okay, my favorite brush out of all of these is their P20. It's just an awesome eye brush just for blending the crease. I've used it a ton. This is just my favorite style of brush, period, in any brand. Another one is P15. It's more of a shader brush, so I'll just pack shadow on the lid. Oftentimes when I'm doing lid shadow, like even what I use today, which is Wet n Wild, I'll tell you in a second, I'll just use my finger just because I feel like it's a little bit more intense when I do, but still soft. This one is their P25. I've used this for concealer. I don't know what it was marketed towards, but it's a, you know, these are synthetic, and it's just really good at working with like liquid products. And then this kind of more detailed brush, the P10, it's a detail crease. Very nice. So I like these. If you are in need of brushes, absolutely, they're nice. I mean, I really don't have anything negative to say about them. Let's talk, again, a lot of you guys have asked about these. They're new cushion foundations. I wear the shade Light Ivory. It's actually a perfect shade match for me. I've tried their little sponge. The sponge is fine. It's better to just use a wet blender, sponge, whatever you want to use, because you can really get in there. And, you know, if you're used to applying things with a sponge, trying to go to using this where you have so much less control to roll it onto your skin, it's just difficult. And getting, like, for me, I would notice I could not get in my nose, so then I'm pulling in a brush anyway, and I'm like, and then anyway, so I just have learned that it really is easier to use it that way. I find that it's nice, but it doesn't stay on as long as I want it to. The coverage is okay. It's, I would say, like medium coverage. I like it as much as I like any other cushion foundation. I do like this because I feel like it's a very fresh look, but I wish that fresh look lasted longer. So my favorite way to use this, and the way I've been using it a ton, is if I notice that I've got a little bit of redness still going on my cheeks or anywhere like that, that's when I'll grab my sponge and just quickly apply this on top of it. It instantly covers it, and it doesn't make it look cakey. It looks very fresh. So I think it's a good cushion foundation. I found a few others that I like that are way more expensive, but I think I like this just as much as I like those. So I think if I were to repurchase one, I'd just go with this one for how I use it. Now, if you use cushion foundations every single day, I don't know if you would like this or not, because I don't think it lasts a long time, but hopefully that made sense. All right, brows, they have this, I still have some other shades I haven't opened. It's their retractable brow pencil. So on one side, and I'm wearing ash brown today, on one side you have the pencil. It's kind of a thin triangular shaped little pencil here. And then on the other side, of course, you have a spoolie. I was surprised how much I like the spoolie. I feel like it did a really good job of kind of dispersing the color throughout my brows. And the color was really, really creamy, like really creamy. And I tried some high-end ones, the same shape, the same setup and format, that just are not nearly as creamy. And so that, I think, made this easier to apply because I could brush it through, make it look a little bit more even if I wanted to. And I really like that about it. Here's the thing, because it's so creamy, that color, like I would go and the color would be gone. So you almost have to like wait a while for it to set. And even then, I mean, you could put on brow gel that might help hold it in place a little bit better, but it is really creamy. So it's kind of one of those things that, you know, I guess maybe I could even like almost powder with like loose powder my brows, but I don't want to go that extra step. So do I think it's nice? Yes. I just think you have to be aware of the fact that it is that creamy and it might move on you. And that could be a shade thing, but I do think ash brown's a pretty good match for me. I might have been able to get away with the dark brown because I feel like this, well, I don't know, that it kind of pulls red, but not too red. So, but I do really like it. It's one of the better ones at the drugstore for sure. And like what I always say, especially with these brand videos, because I've done a lot of best and worst videos, the time to do this is when they're doing like a crazy sale. Like if Walgreens is doing 40% off of all Wet n Wild, that's the time to go in because these are already inexpensive. But if you know you're going to buy a few products, just wait for a sale, wait for a coupon, or both. Next product is these Hello Halo highlights. I have like literally every shade. They've got some nice golds and pinks and bronzes, and but I've really focused my time on the one that I felt would be the best for my skin. This is called Halo Goodbye. And I love, you can of course shake it up. It's like a glass bottle, I think. I mean, it certainly feels like it. So that's kind of nice. And I love that it's a doe foot, and it's a fat doe foot. I don't know what it is about this, but liquid highlighter can be tricky as it is to apply, especially if you're a beginner or you're just kind of new to that, or maybe you don't typically like that. Typically, the reason I used to be intimidated by liquid highlighters, I was like, I don't really know how to apply it. So with this, what I did today is I just went dot, 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 just right on my cheekbone. And then I just took the side of my sponge and I just kind of pressed it into the skin. And I kind of brought a little bit up. I took the sponge I'd already used and just put a little on my nose, a little up there. And it really does impart a really nice glow. It's nothing crazy like you can see from space, but again, it's that healthy glow that if you're using a lot of matte products, you kind of want that glow back, or at least I do. And this was a shade that was great for me. So with them, I was kind of impressed with the shade selection of the highlighters. I think it's a cool format, probably one of the best formats for liquid highlighter that's out there, and really a lot of liquid highlighters perform the same. This is a thinner formula, so if you're used to like the Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector liquid, that's a lot thicker. So I think that stays on better throughout the day, but I haven't really noticed that this doesn't stay on throughout the day. Does that make sense? So, you know, do I think it'll stay on for 20 hours? Maybe not. But do I think it'll stay on for 10 to 12? Yeah. All right. Next product is their new eyeshadow palettes. So this is what I'm wearing on my eyes today. They redid one of their palettes that I had loved for a long time, and then they came out with 3 new ones. So the one I'm wearing today is Comfort Zone, and they added some shades. They really added transition shades to their palettes, and that was huge because a lot of us for years have just said, you know, I love these palettes, I can't do a complete look because I need something to blend with. So they did a great job. The transition shades are on the outer portions of the palette, and then they always have 8 shades in between. That could be shimmer, matte, both, a mix. This has a lot of shimmer in it. So what I did today on my eyes is I have this, well, I have a single shadow. I have the single shadow in Envy all over my lid. Now I did use like a white primer, the NYX white primer. These singles were so hard to open. But I'm using this shade Envy on top of that white primer, and it ended up pulling a little blue once I put it on, and I really was wanting the green look to come out. So once I put that on, and I was really impressed with that, I went into the Comfort Zone and grabbed this green here and put it on top, and it really kind of amped that up. I didn't feel like this green was as powerful as that, and that's why I went with this. But when you put it on top of it, it really did make it a lot more green. I've got it on my lower lash line too. So impressed even more so with the single shadows when it comes to like color punch versus the colors in the palettes. And I've kind of noticed that across the board. But I think these blend really nicely. I use this orange transition in my crease. I use the more burgundy color in my outer corner. These are really, really pigmented. I've noticed they did a really good job with the transition shades especially, because those need to be highly blendable for them to actually work the way we need them to work. You know what I mean? If they're not, then it's not going to work. So I'm really, really impressed. Now, the other palettes they came out with, this one is one that a lot of people feel is a dupe for the Anastasia Modern Renaissance. It's their Rosé in the Air palette. Really, really pretty colors. I love these 2 transition shades. There's a cooler tone and a warmer tone. They have some pinks. They have some shimmers. Their shimmers are okay. They're not bad. They never have that like shimmer punch that I want. They might have the color punch, but they never have the shimmery, like ridiculous foiled look that I sometimes want on my lid. They're still really pigmented. For example, this one called Nude Awakening, I thought, oh, these shadows here are gonna be so pretty on the lid. They really, they weren't not pretty, but again, they just didn't, they're really powdery. They just didn't pack the shimmer punch that I wanted. So you gotta kind of keep that in mind, but we've got a matte black in this shade that is just like out of this world. Really, really pretty. If you're a cool neutrals girl, you'll love this. And then the last one is Not a Basic Peach, and it's got this really fun blue color in it. What's interesting is this color right here looks so similar to that one, and this one's not as pigmented. So again, that's that Envy color I just showed you, that single shadow. It really does turn blue the longer it sits. It's so interesting. But this one had some more, you know, like kind of peachy, bronzy, pretty colors that, again, the color is gorgeous, but it's not as shimmery as you might want. I don't know, you might not want it at all. But I mean, look at these. That's drugstore. That is inexpensive drugstore, and they really, really are impressive. Do I think you need all 4 of these? No. Do I oftentimes pull these out and have all 4 open and I'm dipping between them for looks? Yes. So, you know, you've really got to look at the shadows and decide, okay, which one am I actually going to use? I don't need all of these, you know, and they're going to be there a while. But I'm just so excited. I like the format. I like that it opens to the side. I don't know why I like that, but I do, because originally they were big and they opened that way. All right, so I don't know that I have a favorite out of these, to be quite candid, because they're all really good, and it totally depends on what you like on your eyes. Next product are their liquid catsuits. I'm wearing one today. These are liquid lipsticks. They dry down to a matte very quickly. They're really inexpensive. They have a good amount of colors. This one's called Missy and Fierce, and it's like a bold red. I mean, these are really nice liquid lipsticks. If you don't mind a very drying liquid lipstick, which most are, then you'll like these. I don't think there's anything wrong with them. This is the Berry Recognized. However, that's right there. If you know that you don't like that dry feeling, you're not gonna like these. That was kind of when I was first trying these out a long time ago. I just kind of realized, I'm like, I don't love these. I like them a lot, but I don't reach for them often just because I just don't like that dry feeling. So this is the shade I'm wearing right now. This is called Me Mocha. They're really pretty. Like I said, they're really cheap. And if you want a bunch of different colors, if you're just starting out or you just want to see like, oh, I've never tried a liquid lipstick, let me see if I like it. These are great ones to try. But because I don't like that dry feeling, I ended up putting a gloss on top. This is actually a weird gloss that I don't think I like, but in case you're wondering, it's a ColourPop Ultra Glossy Lip in Atoll. The color is pretty, but it was just okay. But I have to put something on top of them just because I feel like, ugh, I don't know. Again, you have to know what you like. If you like that liquid lip, then I think it's okay. It is definitely a thinner consistency, whereas like the Milani liquid lipsticks, the Amore Matte Lip Creams, I like those a little more because they're a little bit more whipped and creamy. But again, they still dry down to that dry feeling. So, okay, next product I want to talk about is their Photofocus concealer. I have that on today. I do like it. I do think you need to set it. It does crease a little bit. Not as bad as other concealers I've tried, but it definitely creases like most do. Just a doe foot applicator. I think it's nice because the coverage is medium. It's not a full coverage concealer, but it's nice for every day. And I feel like, you know, I used it a little bit to clean up down here. I just put a few dots and blended. It blends so quickly, and I really appreciate that. I feel like some concealers are so finicky to work with, and this one's not. It just blends quickly no matter what you're using. It looks nice. You look more awake. And again, for the price, you can't beat that, considering there are more expensive ones out there that don't work as well as this. On that same vein, from the Photofocus line, this is their pressed powder. I have this on today. Actually might put a little bit more on my nose just because I feel like my nose is always red. Just like to get that region just a little bit. Very thin powder, but it packs quite a punch. You can't really see the swatch. I have it in the shade if you're curious. Well, I don't even know. Oh, there we go. 821E. It's warm light. It's just okay. They don't have a great shade range, which is a huge no-no. And it's just all right. I mean, if you're like in a pinch and you just need something to soak up oil, okay. But I feel like it looks powdery. I never find myself reaching for this anymore. It's just not something that I would ever repurchase. This, a lot of people loved. I didn't like. I put this on top of the Hello Halo that I had on. Every time I wear this, I feel like it just looks bad. Like it looks patchy. I've done it a million ways. So this is the Megaglo highlighting powder. I used to own all the shades they sent me. I've decluttered all but one. And this is in the shade Precious Petals. This is the one that so many people like. Does it swatch pretty? Kinda, yeah. Do I think that it's anything to write home about? No. I feel like every time I wear, I mean, don't you feel like it's just like sloppy? And I'll wear a million other highlighters and none of them look like this. So, I don't know. Maybe you've got to have the exact right skin tone for this shade. When it swatches, like I said, I mean, it swatches, it's soft, it's a pretty color, but when I put it on, I just feel like it meshes with like my freckles and things really weird, and I don't know, it just never looks the way I want it to look. And so for that reason, I don't recommend it, but you know, it's inexpensive. It's a couple dollars. If you're dying to try it, try it. Decide for yourself, because I know so many people do like it. And maybe it just depends on your skin type as well. Another product I wanted to mention were their eyeshadow singles. They have a new Brulee, which here's my old one. Old, new. My favorite single shadow of all time, because it's just a beige color, which for my skin tone is perfect for blending. I'll use this every single day underneath or right above my eye primer just to kind of tone it down, but it also cancels out a lot of discoloration. The new one is even creamier. Like it's definitely powdery. I mean, I'm gonna fly through this because I feel like you dip your brush and the powder is everywhere, but it is so good at its job that I'm like, it's fine. Like I still love it, but it is definitely a lot more than the original Brulee. The original Brulee is a little bit deeper of a color. It's very slight, but it definitely is. So I really like both. I'm gonna keep both for a while, but you know, I'm not upset. It's still really, really good. They have a lot of, like I showed you Envy. That one's really, really pretty, but it looks green. Definitely pulls a little bit blue, like I said, but I do really like it. They also have Nutty, which was another one of their original colors. And this one, again, they all kick up a lot of powder. It's such a pretty color though. This is one of those colors you could just put all over your lid, blend it into the crease, and you're done. And it looks more dimensional, like you took a lot of time, but you didn't, and it was like $1.99. It's a really pretty color. I do think, I don't have the original Nutty anymore. I think this is lighter than that color. I might be wrong. I know some people have done comparison videos because they already own the old ones. I haven't, but it looks really pretty. And it's got a nice shimmer to it. I really like it. They also have this blue shade called Moonchild. It's really, really powdery. Like I said, all of them are. But it is a really pretty navy. It's a true navy though. So when you look at it, it looks navy, but you think, oh, it might pack like a nice color. It does, but it kind of goes on a little deeper than you might expect, but it's still really pretty. This would look really pretty on a lower lash line. So they also have a matte black called Panther. Did I cover all those? They have like a shimmery white called Sugar. I wish there wasn't shimmer. I kind of wish it was just white. All right, so they also have this purplish shade called Mesmerize, which is really, really pretty. So then they have all these glitter shades. And I remember these from before. So this one's called Nude Cover, and I think this one's new. It looks like a rose gold. I was ready to roll my eyes because the ones I tried before, it was like this really weird, like goopy clear gel where there'd be a little bit of glitter. This Nude Cover one is literally a cream shadow. Look at that. That's right there. Isn't that unbelievable? The silver one is called Spiked, and this one has true glitter. So this is one of those kind of older ones that just has like pure glitter. It's like a clear gloss with glitter. So the only way I would say you could use this is if you wanted to just pile it on top of something. Guys, I feel like the deeper you go, the less glitter there is. It's just kind of an odd formula. I wouldn't recommend it. I mean, it's a couple dollars. If you're using it like for a look for Halloween, go for it, because the top layer is definitely full of glitter, but as you get deeper, it just gets kind of weird. So this is another cream shadowy one called Toasty. Where it's got quite a bit of color all throughout. It's so pretty. Just a really pretty gold. I mean, I was so impressed with these. So this is the shade Karma, and it's another kind of cream shadow, but it's like black. It's just interesting. I think this one is a little more see-through, but once you kind of pile it on, it's not. Very like a gunmetal. So that's it. Those are all of the Wet n Wild products I've been trying out lately. Now I've got all these beautiful colors on my arm. So I will have all of these listed and linked if you're curious about them or the prices of them. Of course, the price of them depends on where you're shopping, you know what I mean? But other than that, I hope it was helpful. If it was, I hope you'll give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.